We get up every day and work to pay bills.
I realized I was using feminism pretty much as a cover-up for how much I despised the male species.
I'm so sick and tired of working a 9 to 5, but I'm fat!
In case there is a world war, I'm not a feminist.
This is called equality. You can't just run away when it doesn't suit you.
Being an independent woman is fucking overrated. I'm leaving.
The women that fought for our right to work. Why?
I really need someone to tell me if having kids is worth it.
I still cannot process that if you work a 9 to 5, or an 8 to 5 in my case, you're expected to work until you're like 70.
Being an independent woman was a bad choice after all, but the men aren't interested. Kindly subscribe to the channel. That's the only contribution we ask of you. Thank you.
Every time I get a new job, all I can think about is getting another job because I'm so unhappy. And I realize that it has nothing to do with the jobs I get. I just don't want to work.
I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to work. Should I call out? But I need the money. I don't want to go to work. I'm going to work.
Well, the truth of the matter is, that's a lie. Women do need men, and they are realizing that now, that they need them more than ever. So, although you may feel that way, you think feminism won, because it looks like it won, the truth is, everybody loses because of feminism. So, although they may have the appearance of being happy and independent, in a while it will catch up to them, and they will realize all that they have lost because they bought that lie.
I agree with you, but how many women will even admit it and actually take accountability? I rather stay single, tired of doing the right thing for women, only to be used and cheated on. Problem with feminism is that it made men to look like the enemy. I bet if you asked women who went that route, would not make the same mistake again. We will always want and need each other, no matter what either sex says on the surface. We don't want to be without each other. By the time these women come to their senses, it will already be too late. By that time, all the good men and women will be already taken. Their only options will be the chads, and the suffering and cheating will just continue like before.
Do y'all ever sit back and wonder, why would y'all fight for women to work? I don't want to work. I don't dream of labor. I would much rather be at home. Like, why would you do that? Like, why? Now we gotta pay for it. I want to be at home.
The reason why they did it is because they wanted equality. They wanted to be men equals. But the thing is, women have always worked. It was only certain things they weren't allowed to do, but working was always there. Welcome to equality.
Ladies, let me remind you of something. You do not need a man. I hope at this point, and I think at this point, we're aware of that. Like, that's pretty obvious at this state in the game. You can want a partner. You can want a man. You can want that vision for your life. But what you cannot do is shrink yourself, lower your standards, and choose a man or try to be chosen by a man and force things to work just so you have a man or just so you have that partner or just so that you feel wanted or needed or validated. If you are not choosing a partner based on your boundaries, your needs, what you need in a partner, what you need for your future, your vision for your life, you are consciously choosing that partner and building a life with them, you're better off alone.
These are the types of women that try their hardest to keep other women single. She just wants them to join her in her misery. All of these women who are saying they don't need men, all they have to do is take a look at the world and try saying that same line again. Men have built the world.
Okay, listen up. All the women who consider themselves independent women, right? You got your own money, you got your own car, you got your own hat. Listen, being an independent woman is fucking overrated. I'm leaving that shit in 2020. I'll tell you that for free right fucking now. Leaving it in 2020. I want people to unbaby. 2021, I'm rebranding to baby. I don't want to pay for my own shit. I don't want to have to carry my own shit. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm done. Yesterday, I carried so much fucking heavy flooring, 40 packs, on my own. On my own. A man was there, but he left me to die in the street. And I carried it myself. And I thought, this is what I wanted. Smash the patriarchy. But you know what? Leave a crumb. leave a crumb of it so that I don't ever have to do that shit a fucking again. That's where I'm going for 2021. No more, I'm baby.
That is so real. This is me when I have to shovel snow or dig out my car. I revert to I wish I had a man doing this for me. Same here. I'm tired of being a strong, independent woman now. It was just a silly phase. I've seen the error of my ways. These women always quit being independent when things get rough. But honestly, they can be independent all they want. They can be independent until they're 80. But at 80, it won't be called women hitting the wall anymore. It will be called grandmas hitting the mountains.
I don't dislike women, just the ones who stand up for themselves. Just those really annoying ones who actually think that they're equal to men.
Say this with my chest. There are far more women struggling to find love in relationships than men. Yes, I agree, bad men exist, but these men are created, not born. And I'll tell you what's causing this. Toxic feminism. What feminism does is simultaneously teach women to detest masculine traits in men, but cultivate them in themselves. So for instance, a man that cheats is trash, but a woman who cheats is a bad bitch. Or a man that sexualizes women is misogynistic, but a woman should sell her nudes online and she's a bad bitch. But the biggest problem with feminism is that it makes women reject their feminine traits. So they no longer want to be loyal or nurturing. As a result, we're breeding a generation of men who no longer aspire to provide, protect, and most importantly, respect women because they can access them and replace them. So yes, men are struggling to find love, but it might be because this generation of women is not what they want.
This woman received a lot of hate in her comments for speaking up. Even this man said, "The women attempting to crucify this lady in the comment section are only proving her point. They won't address your points, only deflect and shame." Now, instead of attacking what she was saying, they was just proving her point with their anger. This woman said, "Damn, I couldn't imagine hating women as a woman." This woman wasn't hating on women at all, she was just being truthful. And then there's this woman who thinks her degree means something, so she said. As someone with an actual graduate degree in psychology, we don't claim her. This is just further proof that women listen to respond and not to understand. Women know their worth and will no longer settle for low-quality men who are not deserving of their loyalty and nurturing. The women arguing in the comments are exactly the ones we don't want. Lady is speaking nothing but facts. The insults just kept coming at this lady, but one thing is clear. Women cannot handle the cold, hard truth.
How is it sexism when we have no barriers today? So we can pick what we want to pick.
Who doesn't have barriers?
Women don't have barriers?
Women, yeah. What's
we
stopping
have no
you? You
barriers.
can do whatever you want.
I can or you can?
What's stopping you?
Like, a part of me has died the past few years, and it's not because of COVID, really. I think it's mainly because of just starting to work more and then graduating and then working like full-time, and this life is not for me. Like, I feel like working full-time has killed my soul. Like, every single day my soul dies more and more and more. And now I'm starting to understand, like, why my parents were so tired and, like, didn't really want to do anything most of the time. Because, like, now I get off and I just want to watch TikTok and I want to watch TV. And I, like, don't really hang out with anyone but my boyfriend. And then even when we do hang out, we don't really do anything. I feel like I'm just existing. Like, I'm not living.
Working is hard for everybody. But some people have responsibilities they have to uphold, and that's why they can't stop working. All of these women are complaining and complaining, acting like it's only hard on them. I honestly thought they would be happy working. They've been asking for it for years.
Whoever fought for women to get jobs? Why? Why did we do that? I am so tired. I want to just put my feet up.
I'm done fighting for women's rights. I don't like it. I don't want to work. I don't. So all you fucking feminist, equal rights movement people, shut the fuck up. I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm trying to be a housewife.
It's too late for that. It really amazes me when things gets rough. They all start saying, I want to be a housewife. Where was that energy when they were screaming, being an independent woman who does not need a man?
I quit at being independent. I don't want to do this shit anymore. This shit is draining. I'm so ready to have a man come into my life and take care of me. My tires pop. 2 of my tires pop. And I'm sitting in my car because I don't know what the fuck to do. Obviously, I know what the fuck to do, but I don't want to do this shit anymore. Like, I'm ready to have someone come into my life and take care of me. This shit is so fucking draining. This independent life, like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. I quit. Because every time something happens, I always have to figure shit out on my own. And I don't want to do that shit anymore. Yeah. Y ya renuncio, ya no quiero ser independiente, ya. I want to be spoiled and taken care of. Because I shouldn't have to be stressing about shit like this. I'm tired.
The first reason I'm no longer a feminist is because I realized I was using feminism pretty much as a cover-up for how much I despised the male species. I don't feel that way now, but at the time, I had a lot of bitterness towards men. So I was kind of using feminism as a way to be rebellious. I didn't realize this until I started to observe other women who claimed to be feminists. And I noticed their attitude towards men. And I was like, seems like it's a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of resentment. I don't know if you are really being a feminist for the right reasons.
I honestly got to give her some respect for waking up early. Because there's still women out here who are in their 60s that's still shouting that crazy feminist mindset garbage to other women, like they say, better late than never.
Really bothered me was the fact that our whole cultural dialogue was very much tilted to women's wants, women's needs. I think there's a whole generation of older feminists like me who no longer call themselves feminists. I mean, I was a feminist when feminism was about equality. Feminism today, to me, is all about advantaging women at the expense of men. And it's become very much caught up in the demonization of males.
I am no longer a feminist. Here's why. So I've been a feminist for a few years, and I always felt like there was something missing, and I couldn't really pinpoint what it was until last night when I realized I'm not a feminist. I'm sexist. I value women as more than. It's no equality in my brain. It's purely women, children, and animals all in number one. And then men come second. And I realize, like, that's why they let, like, women and children off of the drowning boats first. And it's because that's just the way of life. That's why men go to war. That's why women stay home and, like, be hot. And children get to play, and animals get to eat and run. And men go to war. So, yeah.
I've learned that in life, there's some people you just can't help. They never need a man until Father Time starts teaching them a lesson. It's really funny how she placed men at the bottom, but when something goes wrong, they're so quick to ask men for help. Since women have fought for equality, shouldn't that mean they should get drafted also?
Hello. Just a little psa. In case there is a world war, I'm just reminding you, I'm not a feminist. My job is to stay in the kitchen. I don't go to no battlefield. The only thing I'm battling is a potato kegel.
I don't know. I just don't think this is like right for me. I don't want to do it. I want to go home. Like, I can't take the pressure of it.
Women's History Month is coming to an end, and I just wanted to let y'all know that I am not a feminist for many reasons. One being I do not wish to be treated as a man's equal. I am not equal to a man. Instead, I would prefer to be treated much better than a man, like the goddess that I actually am.
It's good to see a woman speak the truth. The rest of them will say they're equal to a man and then complain when it comes to doing the work. Pick a side.
I'm so sick and tired of working a 9 to 5, but I'm fat! And I can't pole dance worth a shit!
Who cares?
I just want to know who started the feminist movement. I just want to know who started it. And why did you think that we both needed to work? Why did you think that we needed to work as much as men? I would have been okay at home. I would have been okay cooking for my husband. I would have been okay with doing that. But because you had the boldness and the confidence to say, I think we should work like men work. Now look at me doing both. Now look at me, home and being a mom. Thank you. I'm so glad that you did that. This is so fun. Like, girl, what are you doing? The Board of Feminists, where y'all at? Because I just want to say, I quit. I don't want to be a part. I don't want to be a part of the Board of Feminism. I don't want to be a part of it, and I don't agree with it. And that's just me. I don't want to do both at the same time at that. Y'all, send help. Just send help my way.
The only thing I've noticed it does to people today is separate the family structure. A lot of women hate it because they thought it was a good cause that they were following. Most of them hate their jobs and the responsibilities that it comes with. But honestly, this is only the beginning. Soon enough, you will see more and more women come forward to speak out. But by that time, it will probably be already too late. Most of these women who are done being a feminist are looking for a man to take care of them, because they can no longer handle the pressure of their bad decisions.
We get up every day and work to pay bills. We are not living to live. We are living to survive. And I still can't wrap my head around that. I saw a post today that says, I'm so glad we only live once because I can't do this shit again. And I felt that.
I get up and then all day I'm tired and I want to take a nap all day. I have no motivation. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to work. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to hang out with anyone.
Feminism used to mean that women just wanted equal rights. They wanted the opportunity to have kids and work on a project outside the home. But now, you've taken that wholesome name, you've applied it to a movement who's promoting destructive ideas like hookup culture, being an independent woman, and hating all men. And you're saying, hey, I know that title, I'm totally down with women having rights. That's a great title, but you've now misused it. You've misapplied it to actually an unhealthy movement. You're telling me to do unhealthy things, take unhealthy actions. I don't want to take those actions.
I am not an independent woman. I do not care. I make my own money. I have my own goals, but that doesn't mean I'm independent. I need my man. I need to be feminine in my relationship. Leave me out of that feminist. I am independent. I am not.
My husband comes, he eats. I pick up his plate when he's done eating. That's something people are so surprised to know. He does not pick up his own plate. For some of my American friends who see it, they're a little taken aback. Can't he pick up his own plate?
I think the American notion of relationships is equality.
I do push women empowerment, but I'm I am not alone. My husband covers this whole situation. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he covers me. And so if someone breaks in my house in the middle of the night, it's not me getting up.
I'm not going first.
I love how someone finally talked about this, because we women forgot our role as a wife. I kinda agree with this, but the only reason why these women are running from being independent is because life is teaching them a lesson. But what I disagree with is this. I'm independent, but I still want to have someone to depend on. Period. What's his is mine. What's mine is mine. I don't know where this idea came from, where the man resources belongs to the woman, but her resources belongs to her. She said she was independent. Someone who's independent doesn't need to rely on anybody else but themselves. Basically, what she's saying is that she's selfish, whether she already has her own. She still wants yours, and that's the kind of woman you want to stay away from. A woman who actually cared about you wouldn't mind combining resources. That's the mindset of modern women today. It's all about them.
I feel unbelievably betrayed by feminism, and I don't want to put it on the movement because I believe you make your own choices. I don't think I'm a horrible, selfish person for not wanting to have children in my 20s and not wanting, to have children during that marriage. But it did scare me because a lot of what they were saying, they were like, you've been very selfish your whole life. And that's what I heard over and over again about the downfall of living a selfish, me-focused life, and it does. For me, it's definitely started to feel hollow and meaningless. And, it's taken me to this point in my life to realize that that's not a life that's going to bring you happiness. And maybe it does for some people. I honestly have a hard time believing that. If I thought I would spend the rest of my life alone, if I didn't think that I would get married and have children, I would be devastated.
She knew exactly what she was doing when she embraced that ideology years ago. She's no victim. She willfully chose to ignore other voices telling her to reject feminism. You weren't betrayed, you were brainwashed. So what she's really saying is that she lacks the ability to think for herself and refuses to take responsibility for her own choices. Pretty much sums up the state of the world in 2023. Bravo. In my 20s, I was criticized by my former liberal friends for wanting to get married and have a family. Years later, I got rid of those friends, got married, and had a baby. No regrets at all, as I loved the role of wife and mum. And I still work and fulfill other desires. But there is nothing wrong with wanting a man. We are women, it's natural. She will never be married because she's not owning what she's done in her own life. She's still blaming others. As a man, she's bad news. No one is to blame but her. This woman is an adult, and she knew exactly what she was getting herself into. Many people have tried saving these women, saying, "You're going the wrong direction," but none of them listened. Sadly, a lot of women in 2024 will end up the same. The best teacher in life is life itself, after all. It never fails.
The women that fought for our right to work. Why? Why did you do that? I ask myself every night, why? Why do I have to work? I don't want to work. You don't want to work. Women don't want to work. Why?
Women are honestly, just because we have that independence now and now we know we don't have to depend on a man to get the things that we need or that we want. Now they're just doing what men, used to do or considered do to women, in a sense of cheating or not necessarily cheating, but just
dating multiple people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
getting
now,
a roster.
Having a team.
Having a team. What guy can I call for food today?
I advise all men to save up, build a life insurance portfolio, and when they are ready, get a surrogate mother. Be a single father and enjoy your peace. And the sad thing about this is, she thinks she's saying something intelligent, and this is what we have to deal with. If you don't need a man, then don't use anything that's made by men. Doesn't make you independent when you're using stuff made by men. So basically, women are acting like men. No thanks to the masculine women. You need us for a ton of things. Wake up, pumpkin, that female echo chamber has you fooled. You still expect men to pay everything still, even though you spend a fortune on bullshit like ridiculous eyelashes. Things are just getting worse, and it's not gonna get better anytime soon. If you are a man and you truly value your peace of mind, the first thing I would say to you is stay away from modern women. The second thing I would recommend is get your passport and go overseas. Your options are a lot better than dealing with a woman here. A woman who's screaming being independent is not a woman you want to deal with. Trust me.
Anyone know how I can cancel my membership to the whole feminist movement? Because it's not giving what it was supposed to give, so I'm no longer interested. Even the word feminist, what is feminine about me working hard and paying bills? Back then I'm singing independent. I don't know what possessed me to be singing such nonsense. It was the work of the devil, to be wanting equal this and equal that. How the man to be doing demanding things and the woman to be doing damsel in distress. Oh, I don't know what I would do without you. Because me, I need the man. For every little thing I want to be calling my man. Because who'll be reaching the top shelf for me? Who'll be killing spiders? Fine babe like me should be coming and killing spiders. Do I like Xena the warrior princess? Listen, I don't know who brainwashed us. I don't know who started the movement. If it was Susan B. Anthony and the suffrage rights. But I'm suffering more today than I was yesterday. So please, whoever's in charge, unsubscribe me from the list. Cancel the membership now.
I'm actually glad she said that. A lot of women are subscribed to the cause without having the slightest idea what it's about. Some of them even hate men without knowing why. It's only after many years of being brainwashed they finally choose to listen to the voices that's been warning them. But I do find it selfish. After coming to their senses, they start to value men. Every one of them is feminist until they have to deal with reality, and then quit being a feminist when they can no longer handle their baggages on their own. No thank you. Men aren't saviors for your poor choices.
I love men. I think men are the coolest, but I don't need them to survive.
You do actually need men to survive. And here's why. Everything that you see around you was built and created and maintained by men. Okay. Everything. The infrastructure in this country, in every single country in the world, is built, created, and maintained by good, honest, hardworking men that just want to provide for their family. Everything, the roads you drive on, the buildings you live in.
Oh, I'm so motherfucking tired of working. These bitches think I'm supposed to do this shit for 30 more years. Oh, Lord, I can't do it. I ain't got it in me. Cut the show. Take me out. I'm done, Lord. I didn't ask to be here. Stop!
If you hate your job, listen to me. I have a reminder for you. Let's pretend you spend the rest of your life climbing whatever corporate ladder you're on right now. When you're in your 70s or 80s and you're thinking back on your life and thinking about your career and all the things that you did and didn't do you really want to have to come to terms with the fact that you spent 30 or 40 years climbing a corporate ladder you didn't even give a shit about? I'm only saying this because I love you. You could be traveling the world right now. You could be fulfilling your literal lifelong dreams right now. You could be doing whatever you feel like doing every day right now. And you're wasting your life away because you keep talking yourself out of doing it. Quit.
All the single ladies, 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 all the single ladies. Now put your hands up in the club, just pop up. I'm doing my own little thing. You decided to dip, and now you want to trip, cause another brother noticed me. I'm up on him, he up on me.
I'm only 2 years into working my 9-to-5 job, and this is awful. So you're telling me I'm having the Sunday scaries every week to dread 5 days of my life, to then be rewarded with a little thrill on Friday, but then be so tired from working that I pass out at like 10 p.m. Live for Saturdays, love them, but really that is only one full day of fun, because Sunday, have a great Sunday morning, and then Sunday afternoon rolls around and I have the Sunday scaries and I'm dreading my life for the next 5 days. I went to college for 4 years to be stuck in this cycle.
Can someone point me to the direction where they've seen a man get on the camera and talk about how hard his job is? Oh, you can't? Well, that's because no one cares. This here is the difference between men and women. She's talking about how she's been working for 2 years when there's guys out here who's been working longer than that, making sacrifices. I have never seen a man cry about how hard his job is. He may do it in silence, but never public. This is the freedom y'all fought so hard for to obtain.
I just don't want to work. No specific reason. I don't want to work. It's not that it's hard. I just
feminist.
Two definitions of feminism. Does anybody know what they are? Yes, Alex.
Women should be treated equally?
That's correct. Women should be treated equally. Does anybody know what the second definition is? Yes, in the back.
Women should be treated equally.
Very good. Does this make sense to everybody?
Okay.
So the first definition of feminism is based out of common sense. Women shouldn't be treated less because they're women. That's obvious, right? And the second definition of feminism is based out of anger and not having anything better to do.
Ooh, I don't feel like going in here and fucking with these folks. I don't even fucking like them. Ooh!
I'm gonna complain a little bit today. Just let me complain and then I'll get over it. I still cannot process that if you work a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 5 in my case, you're expected to work until you're like 70. It's not just about working 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is about the lifestyle that comes with it. If I want to get a workout in before starting my work day, I have to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm at the gym 5:30 to 6:30. I have to come home, shower, get ready, eat some breakfast because I am not going to stop taking care of myself for a job. And I'm not talking about grabbing an apple and calling it a day. I am going to eat a well-balanced breakfast. Then you have to take into consideration lunchtime. You have to pack yourself a lunch if you don't want to spend like $20 a day on a lunch. Finally get to the office 8 a.m. 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. You're stuck at a desk. Take into consideration commute time. Luckily for me, I am very blessed with an amazing commute time. And then take into consideration that a lot of people have side jobs. I'm a personal trainer, so I train a client from 5:30 p.m. until 6:45 p.m. every single day. 6:45, 7 p.m., you have to start making dinner. Then you eat. Then you have to clean the kitchen. By the time you're done, it's 8:30 p.m. And if you want to get a decent amount of sleep in order to wake up at 5 a.m. again, you have to be in bed by 9 p.m. So you're telling me out of your whole day, you only get 30 minutes to yourself to either do skincare, read, check your fucking phone. It's not that I'm lazy, okay? I've had 3 jobs at once. It's the fact that the older I get, the more time I want to invest in myself and not on anyone else's business. This morning, it just really hit me. I really have to do this for the next 40 years. I'm not, because I'm working on my own things, because I don't want this for myself for the next 40 years. I just think the system is all sorts of messed up.
Well, she's right about one thing. The system definitely could use some improvement, but then again, this is what most men go through throughout their lives. The only form of complaint men's got is nothing because no one cares. They tell you to tough it out. Well, I'm here to tell you, tough it out, young lady. Welcome to the other side.
As a 38-year-old woman, I did not realize the amount of ageism I was going to encounter by getting on this app. I didn't realize that I was so fucking old until I saw a video about a girl who was pretending to throw up just because she was turning 25. I mean, I don't know if it's just I'm delusional and I actually am an old bitch, but like, I didn't think that being in your 30s was so fucking old.
Women need to be held accountable. Feminism has made it normal to constantly blame men for the problems of women, when in reality, our own nature and the way we interact with each other accounts for most of our issues. Women sit around and listen to each other bitch about dating, and for some reason, we always wind up siding with each other, don't we? It's never our fault, even if we find ourselves in repeated situations or dating the same type of guy over and over again. Women will stand in solidarity with victims of abuse and then go abuse men on public forums like, are we dating the same guy? And even if you don't post it there, you still stick around for the tea instead of working to end it. Women will cheer on some overweight girl practicing body positivity and then shrug their shoulders when that girl complains that men aren't attracted to her. Women will complain about WNBA players making pennies compared to LeBron James, but never ask themselves why the Kardashians are billionaires or why a reality show about husbands has never been made. All feminists do is tell men that they have to change, which just means they're still dependent on men to solve their problems. Doesn't that defeat your whole point? Start doing some thinking of your own and hold yourselves accountable for once.
Accountability is a woman's kryptonite. Good luck trying to hold them accountable. I had a woman blame me because it started raining. I just couldn't believe it.
I'm not a feminist. I can see men and I don't immediately feel threatened. I'm not a feminist. And then people ask me if I'm actually a woman. I'm not a feminist. I can wear dresses and feel pretty. I'm not a feminist. Thank you. I'm not a feminist. I don't hate children. I'm not a feminist. I would watch this video and I wouldn't be offended. I'm not a feminist. I can actually cook.
Believe it or not, this woman had received a lot of hate from other women in her comments. I thought it was supposed to be women supporting women, but like Al Bundy said, don't try to understand women, Women understand women and they hate each other.
I am feeling like I want to die and that this is complete torture and I don't know what I did to somebody to make me sit here and do this. And I just don't think it's nice.
Am I a feminist? Yes, because it took feminism to get us to the point where we are now, to get that equal pay.
Do you realize how different the job availability was 100 years ago?
But that doesn't excuse
do you realize
the fact that women and men got paid differently for doing the same job for the same hours.
But here's the thing, like, equal pay, feminism can really only exist when there are comfortable, air-conditioned office jobs. You didn't hear feminists in the fucking 1800s saying, I want to go into the coal mines and get black lung. Because for the longest period of human history, most jobs were like extremely physically laborious.
They love talking about equal pay, but they never think to ask themselves why most women avoid doing the harder jobs. They have fought and earned the right to work these jobs, yet they don't do it. Feminism has earned them a ticket to complain 24/7 from what I see. Feminism has gotten them to where they're at, and yet we're doomed because of it. Feminism teach women hooking up is empowering, and yet it's destroying the family structure. Just when will they wake up?
Thanks a lot, you idiot. Thanks a lot, Rachel. Thanks a lot.